How's it going, gamers? Chongo here, and today I've got a gameplay commentary for you guys. The gameplay is of Crysis 3 on the PC, and today's commentary topic is about Nvidia comparing the PlayStation 4 specs to a low-end CPU. So anyway, let's get into it. Now, I'm not sure if this surprises anyone, but the next generation of consoles won't really be the leading edge of graphics or anything like that, so I don't know why he's made a statement like this, considering everyone knows consoles are meant to be a cheap alternative to a PC, and it's not really meant to be something that is going to, you know, be the best machine you've ever owned or have the best graphics or anything like that. It's meant to be something that you can buy with your friends or whoever you want to play with on your console and basically just play it, and you don't have to worry about upgrading or not being able to play a game because everyone's got the exact same built system. One of the statements that the Vice President of Nvidia has said is that it'll have half the power of a GTX 680. So this is something that I'm not really surprised about, because they want to make a really good console with graphics, but they don't want to go too far, because if they make this awesome console that's got the best graphics physically possible at the moment, it will cost probably about $1,000. So they don't really want to do that because they're not going to have anyone buying their console. The whole point is to kind of make it cheap and kind of push it to its limits. So the whole point is they buy something that's kind of a little bit lower end and try and push as much power out of it as possible. That's what they've done with the previous generation, which I mean has gone on for nearly 8 years now, and the graphics that are still coming out of the Xbox and PlayStation are still relatively good. You can see they're trying to push the limits, and it's getting to the point where we definitely need some new hardware at the moment, but they've pushed it for 8 years. So the whole point is they're trying to find new ways to unlock the potential of these graphics cards instead of just upgrading a graphics card for a console. Now, on my PC I currently use a 560 Ti, and it's been going pretty well. However, this year at some point I intend to upgrade to the GTX 680. So what that basically means is my PC will have more power than probably both next generation consoles, because I don't really see Microsoft going too far ahead of PlayStation when it comes to graphics. I think more people choose to buy a console due to the fact that it's fun to play and the community and other features other than just graphics. I also think people choose to buy a console if they've got really good exclusives and stuff like that. I don't think anyone says, I want a really good console so I can look at the awesome graphics of some game, because if that game's on PC, they'd probably be better off be getting it on PC and playing it on a higher end graphics card than anything on a console. So I think consoles are cheap for a reason, and people who don't understand that obviously need to go and find that out for themselves and realize that the whole point of a console is to make a cheap alternative to a PC, and just, yeah, the whole point is to make a system that you don't have to worry about upgrading anything and going and playing a game that may not work because you haven't built your system correctly or anything like that. Some people seem to think the reason Nvidia has made these statements against Sony is due to the fact that Sony went to them when they were making chipsets for their PlayStation 4, and Nvidia said basically too high a price, so they went to go with ATI, which is fair enough, because it's really silly to think that some company was going to make them pay full price for graphics cards, considering how many they were buying or anything like that. Obviously they needed a discount, and they would be buying, you know, millions of these. So it doesn't really make any sense to me why they'd think, oh, let's charge them more, considering they're on a budget. They're trying to make a profit on this, and console market isn't really the best market to be in due to the fact that it takes forever to get a profit. You need to sell millions and millions of consoles to basically make a really good profit. So I don't see why Nvidia was so uptight about their price, considering they would have earned more money, and it wouldn't surprise me if they came out and said something when Microsoft chooses to announce their next generation console, because it is believed that Microsoft is probably going with ATI as well, so we'll have to see how that pans out. So anyway, I just think Nvidia is a little bit annoyed because they didn't take the opportunity to sell these chips to Sony, and Sony went with ATI, and that's why these statements were made. So it's obviously their fault for missing an opportunity like this, considering how many millions of copies the next PlayStation 4 will most likely sell. So they're just probably getting a bit grumpy, and that's why they've made these statements. Anyway guys, this brings me into my commentary. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, give it a like, and if you've got any comments on this, whether it be next generation consoles or PC versus consoles, anything like that, put it down below. And if you want to join the gamerhood, just subscribe. Anyway, I'll see you guys next time.